Today we're going to be unboxing a NutriMill Harvest. First, we're going to look for this pull tab right here. We're going to pull it out and open up this top flap. As we open these, you're going to notice 3 different pieces of paper at the top. You're going to have a seasonal thank you card. You're going to have a created by nature, created for you card explaining that every one of our bamboo harvests is unique and not the same. And lastly, you're going to find your user guide. Next, we're going to be taking out our foam insert. After that, you're going to notice cardboard surrounding your NutriMill Harvest. We are going to lift up on that. This is going to allow you to take your harvest out a lot easier. After that, you'll notice a cleaning brush. This is what it should look like. This will be included with every single NutriMill Harvest. Finally, we are going to grab our harvest by the hopper and lift it out of the box. We're going to take that off. Your plug is going to have a plug cover on it. You can keep that or you can set it aside. That is up to you. Finally, when we take off the lid, we're going to notice an instructional guide inside of our hopper bowl. Please read the user guide before using your Harvest Grain Mill. Things to look for on your NutriMill Harvest. Your switch is going to be located here at the bottom right corner. You're going to have your hopper bowl and your lid. To release the bowl, you're going to have your press button release right here. If you press down and turn counterclockwise, the bowl will be able to lift up. Please identify your static and your dynamic milling heads. On the harvest bowl, you're going to notice our knob. This is your texture control knob. You'll also notice on the back side a threaded column. As you turn this knob, your threaded column will either be pressed down or pulled back upwards. This is what gives you complete texture control while milling. Before you begin, please make sure that your hopper is fully secured. Your hopper should not be able to leave unless the press button is activated. To check this, press down and turn counterclockwise and lift your bowl up. To secure the bowl, we're going to line up each of these tabs with the corresponding slots on the harvest base. Once it's in, we are going to turn the bowl clockwise until you hear a lock. Your hopper is now secure. Please also make sure that your switch is in the off position before plugging the machine in. Before using the Harvest Grain Mill, please ensure that the grain mill is on a hard, flat surface and then plug your grain mill into a power outlet. Next, we're going to be placing our bowl underneath the flour spout. The NutriMill Harvest is a continuous flow grain mill, so this is where the flour will be coming out and you need something underneath the spout to catch it. Before we mill anything in our NutriMill Harvest, we are going to mill 2 cups of white rice. This is because it's cost efficient, lacks moisture, and effective for cleaning our corundum stones. Before milling anything in your NutriMill Harvest, please make sure that your grain mill is turned on. Next, we are going to adjust our control knobs. We are going to turn our control knob until you hear stones touch. We are then going to back away. This will be your starting point. Please discard this initial first batch of rice that you have milled through your NutriMill Harvest. Adjusting flour texture in the harvest does not have to be difficult. It does take a little bit of practice, but I'm going to be walking you through every single step. First, we are going to turn our grain mill on. Next, we're going to adjust our flour texture control knob until we hear the stones touch. And then we will back off. Don't be afraid of the stones touching. It is okay. Corundum is a very strong material. What you don't want to hear is those stones touching for long periods of a time or during the milling process. This is what's going to harm your stones or glaze them over. Once you hear those stones touch, and then we back off of it, that is going to be your starting point for milling flour. For fine flour, we will be turning the knob clockwise. For coarse flour, you will turn the knob counterclockwise. To get a fine flour out of the NutriMill Harvest, we are going to first begin by pouring in our wheat berries at a slow rate as we tighten this knob until we get to the texture consistency that we are looking for. Once you've gotten to the consistency that you're looking for, you can pour the rest of your grain in and let the NutriMill Harvest do its thing. At the end of your milling, you will hear the stones start to touch. Please back off of those stones. This prevents glazing and unnecessary wear of those stones. To get a coarse grind out of your NutriMill Harvest, we will be turning our texture knob counterclockwise. So we will first get to that starting point mentioned earlier, and then turn the texture control knob counterclockwise until you get to your desired texture. We are going to repeat the steps from previous. Pour the grain in small intervals until you get to your desired texture, and then fill your hopper bowl up completely. For cracked wheat, we are going to turn our NutriMill Harvest on, get to the starting point. For cracked wheat, you are going to want to turn your texture control knob counterclockwise a good 2 or 3 spins. 1, 2, 3. It keeps the milling chamber open so that it cracks the wheat instead of milling it into a powder. When milling in the NutriMill Harvest, please ensure that all the grain is out of the milling chamber before turning the machine off. It is important that the machine is turned on before the milling and that all of the grains have exited the milling chamber before turning the mill off. To minimize glazing and damage to your corundum stones, please ensure that they are not touching at the beginning of your milling or ending of your milling session. This allows the stones to cool properly during your 15-minute or longer rest period. You never want to hear this sound when your mill starts up or when you turn your mill off. After every milling session, please open up your milling chamber and remove any excess flour that is still there. Make sure that before cleaning your NutriMill Harvest that your machine has been unplugged from that power outlet. We are going to do this by removing our hopper and taking out our static stone. We have now revealed the milling chamber and can identify any loose flour that needs to be pushed out or any excess material left on the stones that we would like to be taken off. This is the cleaning brush that is supplied with every single NutriMill Harvest. On one end you have a brush section, on the other a bristle section. We are going to take our static stone and use the bristle section to clean off as much excess flour as we can. We are then going to take our brush and fit the brush in between the sides of the dynamic stone and the flour guide and turn the stone, allowing the flour to escape through the flour chute. Remember that when cleaning your stones, you don't want to use any type of moisture. Water and moisture will ruin your corundum stones. Another tip for cleaning your stones for a deeper clean is using a vacuum cleaner or air compressor to blow out the milling chamber and blow onto the stones, allowing for the air to get into those hard to reach crevices. To reassemble your NutriMill Harvest after cleaning, we are going to take our static stone, paying attention to the 4 tabs and aligning them with the corresponding areas in your milling chamber. Once your static stone is secure, we are going to take our hopper bowl, also paying attention to the 4 tabs and aligning them with the 4 corresponding holes at the top of your NutriMill base. Once it is in, we are going to turn clockwise until you hear a click. If you are ready to put your NutriMill Harvest away or you are done using it after cleaning, make sure to place your lid on the top.